Hey guys, welcome back to the Baby Girl Diaries. I am your host, today Chabu. We're back for I don't even know which episode this is, but we're back. I have someone with me today. I'm so excited. Okay, I have Greek goddess right in front of me. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey y'all, my name is Mufaro. Yeah, aka Greek goddess. Yeah,
Anything else?
no, that's all.
Okay, cool. Let's get started.
Yeah.
So, today we're going to be talking about relationships and how it's linked to therapy. Um, so would you like to start or?
Um, I guess like one of the things that I would like to talk about is that most relationships I feel like they don't work out because people tend to have like that what do they call it, PTSD, like post trauma syndrome.
Yeah.
So like some people they won't be able to like get past that without actually getting the help of someone like professional to help them. So like in situations like that, like it's probably wise to seek for help from like a therapist or like someone who's older, like can be even your mom because she has experience, definitely.
Exactly.
Or things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I would say the way you were raised, like the family background, like the house you were living in, like how your parents had a relationship together, that can affect how you grow up and interact with other people. So yeah, and there's some like families who have mothers or fathers are drug abuse users or something like that. So maybe when they're older, they might use that to mask their feelings and then they won't communicate properly with their partners.
Yeah, I guess that's why there's that saying that says the fruit doesn't fall too far away from the tree. So the tree being your parents. So like what you grew up seeing, you're most likely to also like just mirror the same thing in your life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I would say if you're raised in a loving, caring environment, you're more likely to show the same to the people you're with, like your boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever.
Or even your friends.
Yeah, your friends as well. And for some people, their friends might tend to be more like family to them than the actual family.
Yeah.
And which is sad, but that's how it is sometimes. So when you have like parents who are not like their mental state is not in a good place, that can really affect you. And I think for men, I would say that's why some men are abusers.
But like I still feel like that's not like a good enough reason for some men to be abusers, because really like you can also take it from a point where you can be your own person, like
yeah,
you choose. I mean, yeah, it makes sense that charity begins at home, but like sometimes you can make that personal choice that, oh, what I grew up seeing, I don't want anything like that. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like you must desire to be your own person.
exactly. I would say for some people, some men, once they see that their fathers are being abusive to the mothers, they will actually do the opposite of that.
Yeah,
Like
true.
they will try to really care for their wives or girlfriends or anything like that. And they set a good example for like the younger generation or like their sons if they have a son or daughter.
Yeah.
To show them that, you know what, this is not okay. You know, like you cannot treat women like this, you cannot abuse them like that, because it's simply not okay. I in regards to therapy, I think everyone should have it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally for everyone. Like rich people can have it, poor people, kids, adults, older people, literally anyone.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But like I mean in like most African countries it's not free. Like it's different to here, like you have some free therapists, and of course some they do charge you, but like back home you don't really have like that much access to it.
Yeah.
I guess that's why also like the suicide rate is quite high, because like people feel like, oh my god, I don't have the 200 to go for a therapy session.
Literally.
Yeah, things like that. Like,
Yeah. I would say, obviously anybody can have it, but I would say mainly in the African culture,
yeah,
some adults generally believe that they don't need therapy, or
yeah,
it's for
that's
rich
true.
people,
Mm-hmm.
or like some of them would look at you and be like, "What do you need therapy for? You're completely fine. You have a roof over your head.
You're
You got
such a young
everything."
child. Like,
What, like, or if you say that, "Oh, I'm feeling really stressed and depressed," they'll be
yeah.
like, "You have food, a roof over your head, everything. There's nothing to be stressed about." Which is kind of ignorant, because you know what?
Mm-hmm.
You could be anybody, and everybody deserves to have therapy. Um, the sad thing is, it's sadly just really expensive,
Yeah.
and that's why there's less people who try to get it, because they simply don't have the money for it. But for me, if I really had the money, like extra money lying around, I would literally go to
Mm-hmm.
therapy every week. I mean, I might not need it like that because I don't really have a mental disorder or anything. But therapy is not always a bad thing. Some people go to therapy just to improve their lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
They could be completely healthy and happy mentally, but they'll still go just to like find a better version of themselves and just to change their life in a better way, I guess. So, yeah, I think I
Yeah.
would do therapy. I think it's a good thing. Everyone should have it, really.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves it.
I actually think you should be a therapist.
You know what? I actually want to be a mental health counselor.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do that. Like anything related to mental health, like I just find it really interesting. And I think I could really change people's lives and like speak to them and talk to them. And like obviously you're gonna need training along the way. But I think that is my passion. Mental health is my passion. So all I need is
I mean,
experience.
you do like give off that calm aura, that gentle vibe.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah.
But you know, one thing I always think about, if I do end up being a mental health counselor
Yeah.
or anything within the mental health sector, I always worry, like, you know, like some people, they're in mental health wards or something.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they don't know what they're doing. They're not mentally okay. So, like, they can become really physical and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person, I would literally stand there. I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be like, what do I do now? I'm sure they'll train me anyway, but
Yeah.
I would literally start crying. So one thing I've learned is I need to really be strong, because dealing with people like that every day is not an easy thing to do.
No, but you know what? They say like you never really know until you start.
Exactly. It's all about
It's all in
having
the mind. Yeah.
confidence to do it and start it, because you never know. It could be the best thing ever you've ever done. So yeah.
I mean, I've always wanted to have like that impact on people. I guess that's why at some point I wanted to do nursing, because like I felt like I feel like I have people at heart. But
Mm.
like of course I had to change it to do this computer science degree.
Which
But
is still a really good thing. Like, oh, and another thing with computer science, like, majority of the people are male. So
yeah,
it's good to see females. Like, it's empowering, it's inspirational.
STEM women.
Girl power. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, as I was saying,
Mhm,
I think mental health is amazing, and nowadays, people are becoming more open to it,
mhm.
and yeah. Anyway, let's go back to the relationship part. I think we're getting off track here, but yeah. So yeah, how your parents are when they
Mhm.
raise you will affect how you treat other people in the future, like relationships mainly. So it's always good to.
I feel like as this like generation, we should try and like correct our parents' mistakes. Like I feel like our kids should grow up in a home full of love, kindness, peace, joy, so that they're able to also give off the same energy to the world.
Exactly.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It totally makes sense to me. I think for me, in terms of my childhood, I had a really good childhood. Actually, it was amazing. It was great. I could go back if I wanted to. But I think in terms of like if I do have kids in the future, I would literally raise them like in such a good way to the point where I'm so scared that I'll end up spoiling them too much. Like in terms of like their mental health, I really want to be there for them and really help them to grow and to understand that it's okay to not feel good every day.
And it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah, to like speak to me. I am your mother. Don't be scared of anything. One thing I would tell them is you can literally tell me anything. I could be upset, obviously, but I'm not the type of person who gets angry and starts slashing things all over the place. Like, I'm not that dramatic. I will look at you and I'll be like, you know what, I'm really disappointed in you. But I wouldn't, like, do the most and, like, be dramatic. But inside, it's a different story. I'll be so upset, probably want to cry. But I think it's the best thing to do. Like, show your kids love because they're going to show other people love as well.
I also feel like when you're choosing your partner, you should be like very careful. Like you should investigate like on their background, like where are they coming from?
Yeah.
Because usually like these aggressive traits, they do like, what can I say? They do like hang on to someone if they grew up in like an aggressive household.
Yeah.
Don't know if that makes sense. So you need to be careful when you're choosing a life, because this is for a lifetime. Exactly. Like marriage is not a joke. Like I take marriage so seriously.
As you should, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
And another thing is with relationships, when you first see the red flag, don't say, "Oh yeah, he's gonna change." Ignore it. He's not gonna change. It's stuck like that for life. He's never
and
gonna
don't
change.
say, "Oh, maybe it will change in marriage." No, he will just get 10 times worse.
That's why they say for better, for worse, for a reason. Literally. But yeah, you just have to be very careful. Obviously, let's remember that nobody's perfect.
Definitely, yeah.
But when you see the red flags, please do not ignore them.
And I also feel like before you get married to someone, like you need to like discuss like quite a few things. Like you need to discuss like parenting styles. You need to discuss how to deal with family. You need to discuss like what beliefs you instill in your children.
Exactly.
You need to discuss even your expectations from your partner, be it sexual expectations or like those things. Yeah, people be like, "Oh, okay, the same old sex education." No, it's not.
It's not.
But like you need to understand like what type of a person is your partner, like in the sexual sense. Like, are they someone who like really desires sex? Like there's some people who are just like that. Literally. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And also you should just have like goals for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
and
very
I would
important.
say with relationships, you should have someone who wants to take care of the mental health and takes the mental health seriously.
Yeah.
And I think if you were to go to a therapy session with them, I think it's a good thing to do because it helps both of you to grow. And you might have your differences, but that therapy session or sessions is really going to help you guys to bond more.
Yeah.
And like try to understand each other because obviously you're not gonna agree on everything. So I think when you have kids as well, I think that should be passed through to the children as well. And the kids need to understand that the mental health is important too. And the parents need to make sure that the kids know that they will be listened to.
Yeah.
And yeah, because some parents are like, "Oh, you don't need to be depressed. Why are you depressed? You have everything you need." Yes, materialistic things we do have, but there's certain things that you can't buy.
Yeah.
Like
happiness.
Emotions, happiness. So I don't know. I think I'm just different, but I feel like when I become a mother in the future, I think, especially if it's my daughter, I really want to make sure their mental state is okay.
Yeah.
I would do anything to
Why?
make sure.
Why especially your daughter? Do you know that men actually have the highest suicidal rate at the moment? Because they feel like there's this thing. Oh, you should be a man.
The stigma.
But like, it's not like that. Like, they also have emotions. They're also human. So like, we should also create a space that allows like men to like express themselves fully, like without feeling like, oh, less of a man. I don't know if that makes sense.
Anyway, let me rewind. Okay, I'll do this for both my son, if I do have a son, and my daughter as well. Both of them, they deserve to be treated equally. But I would say, actually, no, I have a good point. Mainly for men, because men feel like they have to keep it in. They have to be strong all the time. Like, you know what? If you open up to me and say I don't feel okay, that actually proves that you are strong and you're mature and you're willing to seek help. Yeah. Instead of like keeping quiet when you're not okay. So this is why I feel like parents should really be honest and open up with the kids, and they should make sure the kids are not scared of them. Yeah, that's another thing. Some parents really scare their kids to the point where they cannot tell them anything, and it shouldn't be like that.
Funny enough, like growing up, I was never scared to tell my parents anything, especially like actually both of them, like even be it like about a relationship. I remember the other day, like we were just talking about marriage with my dad. Funny enough, he was just saying, oh, you need to be careful because like marriage is something very serious. Like you need to be sure like this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. It was like a good conversation. And also my mom, like we always talk about these relationship things. She gives me advice, but sometimes I do not listen, of course, because I feel like I should make my own decisions, but like she always ends up being right. Like, what's with moms with always being right?
They
I don't get it.
Most of the stuff, they've been there, they've done everything, so yeah. So I think mental health should be taken seriously. Therapy is very important. It is very necessary for anybody. So yeah, relationships wise, like girlfriend, boyfriend, mother, father, son, nephew, whoever. It's key.
And also I feel like solid relationships, I feel like solid relationships should have a foundation of God. Like God should be in the center of your relationship for it to stand.
Exactly.
Because honestly, it won't have substance if God is not in it.
Literally, like this is why people have issues all the time, fighting. Sometimes it's not even like disagreement. Sometimes it's literally just the devil trying to get in. Because he can see that you have something good with that person and he's trying to ruin it for you. And I would say another thing is make sure the person you're with fears God. I mean,
is on the same wavelength with you, like in terms of religion. And I think it's best to also marry like the person who has the same religion as you. Because that way you'll be able to understand each other.
And there's also like different levels to religion. Like let's say for example Christianity. Some people are really into it. Like they're like, God is my witness, God everything. It's great, it's amazing. And then there's some people who are like they really believe in God, but then they don't really show it in that way, like loudly like that. So I think a combination of somebody who's more open to share with the world and somebody who's more reserved. I think that's a good combination because it's gonna help the other person to open up and grow. Yeah. I think we're mixing up the topics here, but you get the point, guys.
No, we're not. No, it's still like marriage related and relationship related. And like those are the small things. Like I feel like in my past relationships, I think I constantly make a mistake of being with people who are not like that into like God. Christianity. They say they're Christians, but they are not into it.
Like I don't know if that makes sense. Speak a different story completely. I mean, you know what, guys, we're not judging here, but like, if you have, let's say, a boyfriend or girlfriend, whoever, and they're not a Christian, that's still okay, I guess, because you can't really change anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
But as long as at least one of you is a Christian, I guess that's all you really need. And yeah. Why are we laughing the same way? Oh my gosh. Anyway, but yeah, therapy is great. It's amazing. I actually enjoy listening to podcasts about therapy and mental health. I'm obsessed.
Really?
I literally have books of mental health everywhere in here. Like, I'm really into it.
Which one is your favorite so far?
The podcast or the book?
No, the book.
I would say it's called No Such Thing as Normal by Brianna Gordon.
What's the story behind it? Like, what does the summary like tell?
It's like, you know what? Let me grab the book. Let me grab the book. I know it's about mental health, but it's like different things. She's kind of put it into different like sections. And okay, I like the fact that she called it No Such Thing as Normal as well.
Yeah.
Because some people, in terms of their mental health, they might think whatever they're experiencing is not normal.
Yeah.
Which is not the case. Everything is normal. It doesn't matter what you're going through. There will be someone out there who will understand you, surely. So, yeah. So, I think one of the chapters she talks about the basics, like sleep, food, and drinks, and meditation. And the second part, she's talking about asking for help. Like, how do you ask for help? Or where can you get the help? And stuff like that. And like organizations, you know, like mental health organizations like Mind, OCD UK, anything related to the mental health. And then the connection. And she also talks about lockdown, like the isolation, and like a lot of people ended their relationships during lockdown. And
because like it was so stressful, so traumatic, so scary. Like it was like you're always fearing that, oh my god, tomorrow I'm going to receive a call that my aunt is dead.
literally,
like we're just like living in fear.
Very scary. And yeah, you know what? I'm happy it's over. Well, it's not completely over yet. I know COVID, she's somewhere out here lying around doing her thing.
Yeah.
But she's not really here for that. She's not there anymore. But yeah, it was scary. And oh yeah, she talks about antidepressants, like different types. There's one called SSRIs, which is selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. And then the other one is, oh gosh, these names are so difficult to say. You know what I can do? I will link this book in the description, in the show notes below, so you guys can check it out. Actually, in one of my previous episodes, the book is there already. It's called No Such Thing as Normal. You can purchase it on Apple Books or Kindle, the Amazon one, Amazon app.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not that expensive actually. I think it's quite like £5 something or less than that. I don't know, £10 at least for like the most expensive one. So it should be nice and easy to find. And yeah, I just like this book a lot because of that. She really gets into it and she's really serious about it. I'm like, I love this. And yeah, so where were we?
I kind of lost my train of thought.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I think therapy is very important and it's amazing. You know what? The fact that we
actually, this is like not related to the topic, but like I have a question. Like, you know when you said meditation?
Yeah.
Like I wanted to ask, like, you know, people who say they meditate. You know that yoga stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's in accordance with Christianity? Like, do you think God approves of it?
You know what? That's so funny. I was thinking about this the other day. I think it depends on like there's actually different types of meditation. There's different levels as well. But in terms of God and Christianity, I don't really think it's godly actually. I think it's kind of, I don't know, sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, isn't this kind of like witchcraft in some way? Not really witchcraft, but like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying. I
It's
see
like
what you're
you're
saying.
trying to listen to your senses and all that, but then I'm like, okay, but there's spiritual things happening around you, surely. Like, there has to be something. um, but you know what? Sometimes in the past, I tried meditation, and you know what? I can't lie. I literally felt the same after.
Oh, do you know what? The thing is that you can feel the same after, right? But then with things spiritual like that, like when you're doing those things, you don't know what you're tapping into. Does that make
Exactly.
sense?
There's so many spiritual things out there that some of it we don't even know about.
I feel like people, like, especially people of our generation, they don't really know what they're getting themselves into, even be it like music.
Yeah,
Like this circular music it's actually a serious issue. Like
literally.
you should see like most of these music videos, they're
Oh
depicting
my
people drowning.
god.
Like what?
Beyonce, I love you, Beyonce, but we know what you've been up to. We can see it. It's scary. There's like different signs actually.
Yeah.
The other day I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw this video of this guy trying to expose the music industry, and he was saying like, oh, you know, like the check box signs that you see in music videos.
Which
That's
ones?
like the black and white ones, the
The square
boxes,
ones.
the square
Yeah.
ones. There's actually like a sign of like some sort of, I don't know, devil,
Like
Satan kind
also
of stuff.
TikTok is actually another like scary place these days because like there are all these challenges.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one challenge I saw, I think it was yesterday actually,
Yeah.
whereby I think they're doing like some hand signs and
Oh
all
my
that, and someone is
goodness.
explaining that can you like Google like devil signs and you
Yeah.
see like that's what they're actually doing,
You know
and you're
what's
just thinking, oh, it's just a song we're enjoying on TikTok, but it's not
literally
like that.
the funny thing? I was sitting on the same bed today, this morning. I literally saw a video about that and I googled it on TikTok. Oh my gosh, it's demonic. Literally. And like, you guys don't even know what you're doing. Like, just be very careful about the TikTok trends because literally you could be literally luring yourself into, what is it called, Illuminati, whatever they
Yeah.
call it. I'm like, just be careful. It's scary out here, honestly. Literally, the music videos are so real, they're out of this world. Like, you know, Lil Nas X.
Yeah.
Woo!
I think at this point I'm just ready for Jesus to come back because it's getting scary out here.
You know, one thing about me is like, sometimes I could be so quiet and then I just randomly think, I just wish God could come right now because honestly, we've had enough.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I'm like, am I prepared? No, I'm not prepared. But at this point, you know, like, this is completely off topic, but you know how things are so expensive nowadays? Like,
Yeah.
we're literally paying for the basic things in life just to survive. I'm like, you know what? If we're all in heaven, we don't have to do this. There's no bills to pay.
The question is, will you make it to heaven? That's the question.
Exactly. That's the scary part. I'm scared about Judgment Day. Oh my god. You know, all secrets are gonna be exposed.
And then the day you realize that your name is not in the book of life, that's when you
Oh
will
my
know
god.
that you were wasting time on earth.
The fact that you know that I'm actually gonna go to hell, that's scary. You know, like when you're cooking and you literally burn yourself with oil, like, oh my god. Just imagine the flames in hell.
Yeah.
Like, as if dying alone is not hard enough. You have to burn in hell. Like, come on.
For eternity as well.
Eternity, guys. There's no time frame. Forever. But you know, one question I always think about is, okay, when we all die, right? It's either we go to heaven or hell. Surely it can't just be heaven and hell and then we're done for. There should be something after that.
There's nothing. That's why they say for eternity.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like when you. Someone once. Well, I was reading this thing where someone was saying, it's like when you die, you. Like the way you think on earth is not how you think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, it's like you're like in a new form altogether.
Like
Does
a
that make
new
sense?
world.
Yeah.
Did you say, what did they say? They say the new heaven and earth or something.
I think something like that. Yeah.
There's gonna be a new earth, guys, apparently. So yeah. I don't know if there's a good earth or bad earth. But yeah, it is. It's scary. Some scary stuff. The music videos are out of this world. It's crazy. Yeah, so we have to be very careful. God could literally come anytime from now. And
I also like encourage young people. Like I feel like this is like the mistake I continuously make. Like I encourage young people like to, I think, yeah, I've said this before, but like practice like things like having devotion with your partner. Those are the other things that will strengthen your relationship. As I said, like I feel like God needs to be in the center of it for it to work.
exactly 100%.
Because like God is the only rock we can lean on. I don't know if that makes sense. Even when things get tough, like
literally, even if let's say like you have nobody, family or friends or partner, God will always have your back, no matter what. Although you cannot physically see him, he is there. He could be in here. I mean,
because even the Bible says God is omnipresent, so he's everywhere.
Literally,
he's here, he's there wherever you are listening from.
Billions of people in this world. It's like billions of like he's there.
He's everywhere.
I don't know how he does it, but he's God. We can't question that.
Yeah,
he's just doing what he does, and yeah. So yeah. Anyway, relationships and therapy do link very well, and yeah. Anyway, I want to go back to like the children part.
Yeah.
When we have kids, especially like with technology and everything, like most young people are so like stuck to their phones and all that kind of stuff. In some homes it could be dinner time and the daughter is over there, the dad is over there, busy on their phones. They're barely eating or communicating with each other. Like, you should have a good relationship with your kids, but the kids are so distracted with technology and their phones and stuff that you can't even. The only time that you can actually communicate is at dinner time, because especially nowadays life is so fast, and like parents working all the time, the kids at school, so dinner time is literally the only time to bond with your kids. And I think, actually, you know what, I feel like when I become a parent, I would say at least once a week I will literally talk to them about the mental health. Like, how was your week? How are you mentally? Are you good? Are you bad? Is there something you want to tell me? Like, one thing I'll make sure is they can tell me anything, no matter how bad it is. It could be anything. I mean, I don't want to use this as an example, but let's say if like they did something really bad, like they committed a crime or something like that. Tell me, because the day I find out that you didn't tell me, I'm gonna feel 10 times worse, because I could have done something not to prevent it, but to make it better. Maybe like they could release you from jail early or something like that. So I think kids should open up to their parents, and parents should be open minded as well. Because some parents, it's like, I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear what you want to say. I'm older than you. I know everything. Well, not like I know everything, but
like to some extent they do know everything, but like sometimes we just choose to ignore it.
Literally.
Because we feel like, oh, I have free will, I'm able to do whatever I want. But like sometimes when they say no to something, it's not like they're trying to hurt your feelings, but like they're just trying to like mold you into like
a better
person.
Yeah. I would say, I'm pretty sure when they were young as well, they felt the same way about their parents.
Definitely, yeah.
They must have felt like, oh my gosh, they're trying to ruin my life. I'm trying to live my best life and it's not happening. They're ruining it for me and everything. But no, it's because they love you and they care for you, and they're going to try their best to make sure you don't get hurt at the end. Because they will be the ones to suffer as well, because they're the parents. So I'm not saying listen to every single tiny thing your parents say, which actually you really should, which is a good thing. But sometimes parents are wrong, let's face it. But sometimes parents do not want to admit when they're wrong. And some parents do not know what apologizing means. So I think it's just good to learn. Go to therapy. You know what? Going to therapy with your kids is actually a good idea. Like, what do you think? I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think
Like
so. But
family
like,
therapy or something.
okay, but like sometimes children have like their own personal issues that they
Yeah.
don't really want their parents to know about.
Yeah.
Like, and also I feel like this is not related, but like I feel like nowadays, like people are getting exposed to so much, like, you know, the whole idea of the LGBTQ.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
not homophobic,
Mm-hmm.
of course I'm not, but
Yeah.
like I feel like how will our kids grow up in this generation, like
Literally.
seeing those things openly? Like what will
Mm.
they think? Because like at home we're telling them one thing, but when they go outside they're
It's a
seeing another
different
thing.
one.
So like how would they know what's right and what's
Yeah.
wrong?
Oh, that's another thing. My kids, when it comes to stuff like that, they have to be very open. Like, tell me anything, because you cannot control how you feel sometimes.
Yeah.
So, like, it's I'd rather you say something than you keep it from me, because eventually I will find out. Okay, not like in a scary way, but like I will find you. I'll find out. But like, yeah, stuff like that. Some kids are literally scared to talk to their parents about stuff like that. So yeah, and sometimes it's their friends, the peer pressure.
Yeah.
If you don't feel it within you, inside you, then it's not there.
Yeah.
Basically. So in terms of the Bible,
No, but do you know what, the whole thing where people say, oh, so they're just born like that, but like really in the Bible God created men and female, like
men.
men and women,
Mm-hmm.
male and female. Like he could have created Adam and Steve, really,
Oh my God, literally.
if he wanted it to be like that.
Yeah.
It's just like the story of, you know, the story of Sodom and Gomorrah.
I was about to say that,
Do you,
literally.
yeah, do you know that story?
Yeah.
Like mainly God destroyed it because of the homosexuality and the other bad things that were happening in that city.
You know what somebody told me? I can't remember who this was, but they were trying to explain to me, and they were like, "Oh, um, it was the angels who were trying to destroy those." Actually, apparently, the angels, no, the people in Sodom and Gomorrah, they were trying to sleep with the angels, so they were being punished for that.
No. There's a
I don't
verse.
know. I don't
There's
think
a
it's
verse
true
that
though.
actually talks about it. Let me look for it.
I think I really need to read that chapter to actually understand exactly what happened, because I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. But you know what? Either way, it's just one of those things. It's hard to say it's yes or no, wrong or bad. Like it's just like, you know what? Each person is themselves decide what you want to do. Um, yeah, just be you, be yourself. But
No, I
if
get
there's
it. Yeah.
consequences, it's not worth it. So
Okay. Yeah. Whilst I'm looking for the story, because in the Bible it says, right, in Genesis 18 verse I don't know, but it's some chapter in Genesis, right?
yeah.
It says the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great, and their sin so grievous, that I will go down and see if what they have done is as bad as the outcry that has reached me. If not, I will know. So I think maybe the angels were sent down to check on it, and they went back to the Lord.
Yeah.
Um,
To tell him that this and this happened.
because this shows that the angels were surprised, because they were like, it says they called to Lot, where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we can have sex with them.
So I said the
These
men.
are some men
The
who were
men.
asking Lot that.
Oh.
So they were homosexual.
Okay. That's more clear now.
You get it?
Yeah, I get it now.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh yeah, one more thing, guys. Do not listen to what anybody says about the Bible. Read the Bible yourself to find your truth, because you don't want to get confused. Or speak to like your pastor or something, because they know better. And like, you should read your Bible too. I can't lie and sit here and say I read the Bible every day, because I don't. but I do try.
Because the thing is that with the Bible, right? The Bible, like, it needs understanding. It needs, like, deeper understanding of... Because, like, literally, what can I say? It doesn't entail word for word what it's saying. Some of the stuff, they're, like, in parables. It can be, like, it has a hidden meaning to it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Metaphor.
Like a metaphor, yeah. So, like, some people tend to misquote it and take it word for word, but maybe that's not what's being said. It's just like the verse that talks about, like piercings and all that. But, like, I feel like the cuttings they're referring to are, like, cuttings for rituals and cuttings for the dead.
What do they say about piercings anyway?
They talk about that you shall not have any cuttings in your flesh, because this is, like, basically a cutting.
But what about tattoos, though? I know it's not actually physically cutting, but it's kind of like, in a way, changing the skin.
Yeah, it does say something about tattoos as well. Yeah. But, like, also I then found another verse that says, let me look for the verse. Because I was having this discussion with someone the other day about piercings.
Anyway, speaking of piercings, I need to get another one. But this has to be my last one, I'm sure, hopefully. I hope it won't become one of those people where once they pierce something, they will literally continue going back to get something new. Like, no. Yeah. But yeah. What do you guys think? Like, would you guys go to therapy? I know you guys actually cannot respond to me right now, but would you consider therapy or going there or seeing mental health?
Because there's a verse that says, I think it's what you call this? Genesis 24, verse 47. No. It's Ezekiel 16, verse 12. And I put a ring on your nose and earrings in your ears and a beautiful crown on your head. So it means kuti. It is acceptable.
I think to a certain extent.
Yeah, to a certain extent, of course.
Like, don't be doing the most and doing crazy things. I mean, I'm not judging people out there, but I've seen people with, like, crazy piercings.
Yeah.
Like, the ones that are, like, like the earlobe, where they literally stretch it out.
Yeah.
I'm like, one, that looks painful. Two, if you like it, I mean, good for you, but I personally wouldn't do it. But yeah, tattoos and piercings, it's like, you do you. But then sometimes some people get to choose are linked to God. So some people get a cross or something like that. I think that's okay.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Oh, okay.
Didn't you see this other funny TikTok where someone is like in hell and then the devil is like, show us what you thought would protect you from going to hell. And then they showed them a tattoo of a Bible verse, like,
literally, if you do not, like, what's the word? If you don't do what the Bible verse says, then you're technically just like everybody else. Literally.
But also at the same time, people say that we sin differently. Like, it may not necessarily be about tattoos. Maybe you have a lying habit. Small things like that. It's like,
literally. It all starts as a little white lie.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you're actually lying big time. Like, about big stuff. I'm like... So, yeah. Sinning is sinning either way. But yeah. Anyway, we know we have a second chance to life. One day we're going to be in heaven.
Yeah.
Depending on who goes and who doesn't. I don't want to think about that because that is just too scary. Anyway. You know what? I always wonder what the devil looks like. I had a dream a few months ago. This man was the scariest man I've ever seen in my life. His face was red.
Yeah.
I believe that was the devil. You know, I can't speak.
You know,
Revelation.
I think you're thinking of, you know, how he's like depicted, like he's red with horns. Of course, he does have horns because Revelations does say that.
I gotta say, Revelation is actually my favorite chapter in the Bible for some reason.
Yeah.
Because it's just really interesting. It really gets me thinking about Judgment Day and when God comes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The angels and the rings. I don't know where I got this from, but I was speaking to my pastor a few weeks ago. Was it weeks or months ago? I would say less than 2 months ago, because he came over to visit us. And I was just asking him all these random questions to the point where my mom was like, where do you get these questions from? Like, I don't know, because they were literally just coming out. And then, I don't know, like, apparently the angels are not as nice as people think they look.
Oh yeah, people say that angels are scary. I think I saw this other TikTok of like a depiction of angels with like so many eyes. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I really don't want to see
But
it.
even the Bible says angels are scary.
Like,
it's not what we think that it's this fair skinned lady with wings. No, it's not like that. It's not like that.
Literally. So if the angels are scary, what's happening in heaven now? Because one of us or some of us will go to heaven. I think, you know why we're scared? I think it's because we are all sinners.
Yeah, that's why we're scared.
So we get scared. But I think once you go to heaven, and I think once you get to heaven, your mindset completely changes.
Yeah, it's like peaceful.
You won't be scared of them. They will look normal to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't know they had like so many eyes and all that stuff. The wings, apparently they have like, I don't even know how many wings. The eyes, well, that's new. I didn't know that, so that's interesting. I wonder what else they could have. Maybe like a lot of teeth.
Probably. Or really sharp teeth.
Literally, like ready to bite the evil people out of heaven. Get out. Literally. Well, I always wonder what the devil. Apparently, obviously, everybody knows this, but the devil was an angel. You know, I'm actually so upset with him. He ruined it for everybody. We could have all been going to heaven right now.
Yeah.
He really ruined it. And Adam and Eve, they're to blame too. Because they really messed it up for everybody. Some of us have to go to hell. Some go to heaven. If you didn't listen to the snake, see, now this is why I don't like snakes. The snake is literally the devil. I literally see the devil when I see a snake, so it literally makes me sick to my stomach. Like, when I film it. Oh my god, snakes terrify me to my core. Literally, it's a bad phobia, a very bad one. Anyway, speaking of phobias, you know what? In this episode, guys, we're literally gonna be off topic, talking about random things. So expect whatever to expect. Anything is in here, so yeah. Do you have phobias?
Me?
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, spiders.
Oh my god.
Snakes.
Ooh.
Scorpions.
Anything that's a reptile, like crocodiles, dragons. Obviously, dragons don't exist, but the ones they create in movies.
I think I also have a phobia for. I'm very germophobic. I'm afraid of germs.
That explains everything. Literally, I noticed that.
What do you mean?
Like, I noticed that you're really, like, afraid of germs. Like, you're a really clean person, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I'm afraid of germs. I don't know why.
It's a good thing. So, like, it helps to keep you clean and stuff.
Yeah.
Some people literally have OCD because it's that bad.
Okay, mine is not that bad. But, like, it's simple things like, oh, if I go to a hotel, like, I find it hard, like, sleeping in those beds. Like, I've seen, like, a documentary of people who go to hotels and use that funny laser
LED
light
thing.
Yeah.
The blue one is like.
So ever since that time, I was like, no.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
And the worst thing is you can literally not see germs.
Yeah.
That's one thing that really annoys me. They're everywhere, but I cannot see them.
Yeah.
I feel like in the future, a genius or somebody should invent something that will make us see the germs.
I mean, there you are can some be the one to invent. No, actually, I'm doing computer science. I can do that for you guys.
I want to see flying cars too.
Oh goodness, you're actually crazy.
Another thing is, I'm tired of seeing the same animals. I want to see dragons. Actually, no dragons, because that terrifies me. I want to see. You know what? I really, really miss seeing what are they called? Okay, I've never seen a dinosaur in my life, but
Hmm.
just imagine if they still existed. That is just crazy to me. Like, that would be so cool. Actually, not cool because that would scare me.
Yeah.
We probably would have been dead by now because they'll all kill us anyway.
Uh,
But in terms of food, I'm tired of eating the same food. I want to eat something else.
like what?
Not something too crazy though. There are some people eat snakes, and like, how on earth do you do that?
That's crazy.
Some people eat cats, some cultures, some countries. I'm like, good for you, but I'm not eating that.
Mm-hmm.
They probably think we're weird for eating beef and chicken as well. I don't think they think that's normal. They think we're weird too, so yeah. Anyway, therapy is great, it's amazing. You know what? If I was to go to therapy today, I actually would, because why not? Life is too short. Live your best life. Live your best mental life. Your mental health. Good, healthy life. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm. You only have one life. Protect that mind. Healthy mind is healthy body. Healthy soul. Everything.
And also, you need to surround yourself with people who are just positive.
Exactly.
I realize that that can actually have an impact on your life.
100%.
Because if you're around negative people, your energy is always going to be low.
Yeah. You're going to have low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Probably anger issues if those
Yeah.
people use anger towards you as well. I think eventually with time you could change to a completely different person that you were not before. You just become really withdrawn and just like something you're not. You could have been a really outgoing person, really happy all the time, and then boom, you're with somebody who makes you feel like rubbish, and you can start acting like them because that's what you're used to now. So yeah, it's good to protect your heart, your peace, and yeah. So yeah, I think I'm ready to be a mental health counselor. Let me stop. It's not that easy. Takes a lot of time and effort. But yeah, anything else you'd like to add to this?
No, I guess that's it.
So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm really proud of myself because this is slightly longer than usual. So guys, this is kind of like make up for last Monday because I believe I did not upload anything because I was busy doing something. So sorry about that, guys, but we're back. I'm back. So we're here to live our best life, like I always say. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode. Toodles.